Alright, so I've just picked Ben up and we're heading to my favourite gym, aka Dave's Gym Northwich. Both training legs. I'm going to shoot for 110 kilos for 4 sets of 8 today. Don't know what we're going for.
Sure, yeah.
Don't know what Ben's going for. Lives life on the edge, has no schedule at all. Got on a bit of Drake for the journey. I'd say let me know what you guys think of it, but I don't know, I've got about 40 subscribers, so if anyone does want to let me know what they think of the new Drake album, feel free to comment down below. But yeah, catch up with you guys when I get to the gym. Okay guys, so the footage you are now seeing is my typical warm-up to my lower body days. So you're on the screen now is Ben doing a bit of cardio. We both started with cardio, except I had to wait for Ben because he started slightly after me. So I usually do cardio for about 5 to 10 minutes, with the cross trainer being my cardio of choice. Then I move on to my mobility work. So for my mobility work, I do Joe DeFranco's Agile 8. So this first exercise is using a foam roller and it warms up the IT band. Now you want to be performing about 10 repetitions on each leg for this. The second exercise you're about to see is a V-sit rollover. Now this really helps me warm up my lower back and hamstrings, and it generally just gets you really loose and just ready for squats. So Joe DeFranco's Agile 8 actually includes 2 more foam rolling exercises. However, I haven't been feeling them as of recently, so I decided to take them out. What I really should do is try and replace them with some other exercises, but I haven't got around to doing that yet. Or even better, just do them until I feel them. So the next exercise you're going to see warms up the hips. Now, if you do any of the exercises in this video, I would definitely recommend this one. I really feel it opening up my hips, which is exactly what you want to be doing when you go into squat. Now, with this, you want to keep as square as possible. As you can see, there is a bit of tilting, but which is always going to be inevitable, but you want to minimize it as much as possible. Now, when I perform these exercises, my form is not perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link a video down below which will show someone doing the exercises with better form than me, essentially. So after this exercise, you then move on to these. Now, I'm not sure what you call these. They're like, I feel them warming up my hips. Yeah, so these are another great exercise, definitely worth a try. These will also get your heart rate going, which is something you sort of want. It gets you warm and it just basically is going to prevent you getting injured. So these 2 exercises, the one just previously shown and this one, I actually did the wrong way round, as you'll see if you go and watch Joe DeFranco's video. Okay guys, so the next exercise you are now seeing is of a static stretch. With this one you want to hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds and you want to be really leaning forward on that knee whilst keeping your foot planted, just to really open up that hip. Now you'll notice this is one of the only static stretch that is included in Joe DeFranco's Agile 8, and that is because static stretches performed before exercise will result in a decrease in strength. Now, obviously, that is if you do a lot of them and hold them for a long period of time. So, what you should really take from this is to not perform many, if any, static stretches before you do your compound lifts and isolation for that matter, or lifts, the whole workout. Motivational water sipping scene. So this next exercise, I basically go down to a squat position and then try and keep my chest upright and push my knees out with my elbows. So this really opens up the hips and allows you to get into a deep squat position that you'll want to be mimicking in your working sets and warm-ups, to be fair. So this is my first warming up set, and I always go with the bar as with every single lift. you want to be really exploding up as you're going to do on your working sets, just so you have the same motor patterns embedded even. Yeah, so about 12 reps on this, just to get myself warm and used to the movement. And then the next warming up set will be 50 kilos on the bar, and I'm shooting for about 12 reps on this. But to be honest, if I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling warm, I'll do less reps, and if I'm feeling like I need a bit more, I maybe do a few more reps or another set on it. Simply depends on the day, and that's how you should take your warm-ups. You should take your warm-ups as that, a warm-up. Do it until you are warm. Next warming up set is of 80 kilos, and I'm doing this for about 5 reps. Now, I don't like to take my warm-ups to the same reps as I will be doing on my warming up sets when the weight gets heavier, simply because it will start to tax me, and that is not what I want to be doing. I want to be able to conserve majority of my energy for my working sets. Alright guys, so this is my first working set. I've got 110 kilos on the bar, and I'm shooting for about 8 reps. Now, I'm just going to have a quick look at my form. I'm pretty happy with the depth. What I could work on is keeping my elbows more tucked under the bar, and also keeping that chest upright, but there are no major tweaks, and it is basically as I'd want it. Now, I know I said I was going for 4 sets of 8 on 110 kilos, however, I decided to try 120 kilos for a set of 8 because I was feeling good. So I did that as my third set. So after 2 sets of 8 on 110 kilos, I tried 120, and in the up and coming clip, you will see how it got on. Now, this is Ben's first working set, and it is 120 kilos. Now, Ben hasn't been training as long as me, but he must have some sick genetics, because he's strong as fuck, to be honest, guys. Ben is a lot stronger on me on squats and deadlifts, and as a lot of you will know, I have been training for about 5 years. So you're always going to get them people with better genetics than yourself, and there's nothing you can do about that except from use their strength to motivate you. And here we go. Here's my set of 120 kilos. So on this set, I don't feel like my form was as good as it was on my previous sets. I probably wasn't getting as deep. However, I'm still fairly happy with it, to be honest. Obviously, when you put a bit of weight on, your form shouldn't get worse, but sometimes it does, especially if you're not taking small increments. So say if it was 5 kilos, there'd probably be no difference, but 10 kilos is a bit of a big increment. There's going to be a bit of form breakdown, which is not ideal, but live and let live. Let's make some gains. Let's try some heavier weight. I actually think this was a PB for me this year, especially at this body weight. So yeah, I'm really happy with it, to be fair. And I'm mid-cut now. I'm 159 pounds. I'm getting leaner. It's good. It's good to be, say, making strength gains, stroke maintaining strength. And what the clip you're now seeing is of Ben's 140 kilo set. Now, I don't think he's even attempted this before. I know he's done singles on 160, but he's never tried a max out set on 140. And as you'll be able to see from the footage, he got 6 reps, which is very strong indeed. And I'm jealous. Come on, Ben. Go on. Okay guys, so this is my final set on squats, and it is back down to 110 kilos. I get 8 reps, as you'll be able to see, and my form is fairly decent, basically how I want it, but there's always minor tweaks you can do, and that is what I'll continue to do, and that is what everyone should continue to do. If your form's not textbook, then continue to make minor tweaks until it is. The next exercise you are watching is a variation of the lunge. Now, I haven't done this exercise for a while. However, it is definitely one of my favourites. The squeeze you feel in your glutes is ridiculous, and it allows each leg to work independently of each other, which is always good to work on muscle imbalances. Now, I feel like one of my weak areas are my glutes, so I will continue to do these along with other glute exercises until I feel like they're not my weak point anymore. Now, this exercise is a hamstring curl. So after our first two compounds, we move on to isolation work. So with this, I'm going for about 12 reps, really trying to squeeze it and really trying to feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Now, the next clip you are going to see is me change hamstring curl machines. That is because I couldn't feel a very good squeeze on this exercise, or a good stretch for that matter. So in scenarios like that, guys, what you should really do is switch machines to an exercise where you feel a better stretch and a better squeeze, just because that way you know the muscle's working, and you want something that's going to challenge you as much as possible, if that makes sense, rather than allow you to not get a full range of motion. Okay guys, so then we moved on to quad extensions. Now, a tip for this exercise is keep your arse stuck to the bench. Now, I see a lot of people stick a load of weight on and their arse comes off the bench. And if you perform the exercise like that, you're not going to reap all the benefits from it. Simply because you're not going to get that full range of motion, and you're not going to be targeting the muscles that you want to. In this case, the quad. And that goes for all exercises. You want to make sure your form is spot on, and when performing isolation work, the joint that allows the muscle to move is fixed in position, if that makes sense. So then moved on to calf raises. So again with these, I like to keep a slight pause at the bottom and a slight pause at the top. As said in previous video, recommended by Matt Ogus, and it is something that I advocate and I'm a huge fan of. The stretch you feel is great, and also the squeeze you feel is great, and I've seen my calves come up massively since doing that. So then we moved on to ab work. First exercise is this variation of a leg raise. I felt a really good stretch on this and a really good squeeze. So I don't typically do these. I usually do hanging leg raises. However, I fancied a change, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the next exercise was this crunch on an exercise ball. It allows you to get a greater range of motion than a normal crunch, which is always good. So both of these exercises were performed in high reps, so sort of 10 and above. And that's going to conclude the video, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.